Hey guys, back in the basement again for another sports recap. Guys, the NFL draft is off and running, and I'm here for it. I'm here for it. So, with that being said, let's talk about it. Guys, we had our first round pick on Thursday night, and I had to make sure that I dropped the video talking about Dillon Thieneman. Safety from Oregon. He also played at Purdue as well. So I'm kind of familiar with him at Purdue because Coach Jeff Brom is the current U of L coach at U of L who used to coach at Purdue. So I was familiar with him then because I want to watch some of his games, see if he's going to be a good coach wherever he left at Purdue. But that's a different story. We're not going to get into that. We're going to talk about the NFL draft and the Chicago Bears and their picks. That's the most important. And I'm going to cut that out because shit even brought that shit up. God damn it. The bloopers. Hey guys, back in the basement again for another sports recap. Guys, the Chicago Bears had 4 picks they made between Thursday and Friday. Thursday and Friday, we had 4 picks. Now, I'm not going to sit there and tell you I was happy or I was impressed with all 4 of them because I wasn't. Some of them are like, where the hell did that come from? But it is what it is. But with that being said, we have to break it down. Now, let me talk about the one pick that I am the most impressed with. And that's Dillon Thieneman. Safety out of Oregon. Good playmaker. Smart, athletic safety. Can play deep coverage or in the box. Either way, he's going to give it to you. High football IQ. The little things that you expect. You know what I'm saying? Some of his strength is he's got elite range, side to side. You know what I'm saying? He's a ball hawk. He creates pass breaks up. You know what I'm saying? He's also intercepting the ball, physical tackler. Little things like that. Now, one of the things you kind of concerned about is his height. He's a little bit under 6'1". He's probably about 6 foot and a half. You know what I'm saying? Not that full one, but that half. I don't know if it make that big of a difference, but still, you know what I'm saying? He could probably get caught up with the tight end position. You got some big tight ends. I mean, for example, like somebody like Colson Loveland, if he had to go against him, it would be hell for him to pay all day. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately, he doesn't. They're teammates, so they have to worry about that, right? So that's a good thing. Probably one of the things he needs to continue to improve on is probably his consistency and run support. But I like the combination that I'm gonna get with him and Kobe Bryant in our backfield. I think there's gonna be a dynamic duo, giving them the flexibility in the secondary that they needed, that we've been yearning for a long time. Let me say this. Bayard and Brisker, I did like them too. It was always a concern, especially with Bayard being this elder player and with Brisker's injury history. You know what I'm saying? I don't always think they always gave it to their full potential as they probably could. But they did do great things. I ain't gonna lie, they did do great things. So, I can't really harp on it too much, but it is what it is. Now, our second round pick, let's talk about it. Logan Jones, center from Iowa. I understand that we needed a center, right? I didn't expect us to take him in the second round, right? And there's a couple more picks that I could see us getting, and I understand why we did make the choice of drafting him. I just didn't expect them in these early rounds, right? I didn't. Maybe third round, kind of start that run on that. Maybe even a fourth round, and we did end up adding a fifth round via a trade and the 2 7th-round picks. I thought we might address those positions there. I didn't expect them in the first and second, let's be honest, even in the third round. But we made a decision. I trust Ryan Poles. I trust Ben Johnson and what they're doing with the organization. So that's all I can do. I seen how the draft went last year. It was a success, in my opinion. So I just got to trust him that he's going to do right by us in 2026. With that being said, let's break down Logan Jones. A physical, tough interior guy. Definitely going to bring it. Strong in the run game. High football IQ, leadership, communication. You know what I'm saying? Communicates well with his other players. So I kind of seen that in some of the highlights. Good size, great durability. I guess the one concern that I have is he's not very athletic. But look, I mean, how athletic do you really want your center to be? You know what I'm saying? As long as he can make the block, as long as he can road grade his man up out of there, you know what I'm saying, make the calls on time and still make the blocks, you know what I'm saying, and help out where it needs to be help out. I'm not tripping. I'm not tripping about, his athleticism and stuff like that. Started for a long time. One unique story about him is that he started when he got to Iowa, he was on defense, right? And maybe he's seen their need at the offensive line position, the center, and also probably seen opportunity. He said, look, guys, I may not get a lot of run on this defensive line, and I'm okay with that. I'll be willing to go to the other side of the ball, and I'm going to play against you son of a bitches, and I'm going to give you hell. You're going to have hell to pay all day, every day when it comes to me. And so he said, I'm going to play the center position. There's a need. I want to play. Let's do it. So with that being said, that should shows his versatility. And you got to like that. You got to like that. A guy who's going to help the quarterback stabilize the line and get the calls in and is going to make sure he needs to do everything that he needs to do as a teammate. So this is a position. This third round, pick number 69 for the Chicago Bears. Now, see, we had 60. We traded down, and that's how we got an additional 4. But right here is the player I didn't understand. I didn't understand. Now, nothing against this young man. Nothing against him at all. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations for being drafted. Welcome to the team. But Sam Roush, I didn't understand why we needed to get a tight end. Now, he's a tight end from Stanford. So he's probably the smart kid. They got GPA requirements. They got requirements over there in Stanford, out there in the Cali area. Shout out to the Cardinals. I just didn't understand the pick at that very moment. If you picked him up in the 7th round, I would have had no issue with it. No beef here. So be it. I had an issue in the 3rd round because I know there was needs that we needed during that time that we didn't make that pick. I just didn't understand it. I just didn't understand it. So with that being said, I'm going to say it again. I trust Ryan Poles. I trust Ben Johnson. And they see it's fit that we needed this player. So be it. But let's talk about him. Old school, physical, tight end type. You know what I'm saying? Built for blocking, short yardage, impact, stuff like that. Look, we got Coach and Love. We got Cole Komet. There's always, with this new offenses being run, 12-man personnel, 13-man personnel, they're starting to run more tight ends. So with that being said, you're going to need a good third tight end. We had one, but we didn't. It is what it is. He's an elite run blocker. And I don't know if y'all notice the how we're drafted now. Playing it for the run, playing it for the run, playing it for the run. With our center, good run blocking center. Tight end, good run blocking tight end. Look, it's all setting up because that's how Ben Johnson likes to run his offense. That zone offense, he's running it. He's going to run it to the T, and you got to have the players. You got to have the players. And the most important players is going to be your offensive line. Big body tight end, 6'6", 257 pounds. That's a big dog, man. Tough, physical, smart. That's what you expect from your players. That's what you expect. Now, my only concern, he's not a dramatic receiver. He's not the best receiver, right? But that's not what you need from him. We got the two good receiving tight ends, especially Colson Loveland. Great receiving tight end. Coco Man, he's good. He's good. He's good. But I guess this guy's going to be okay. But guess what he does well? He blocks. Got limited separation ability. Okay, we don't need him from all that. We don't need you to separate from your man. We need you to stay on your man so you can block him, push him on out the way, so our running backs can get what we get from him. So, that was that position. I'm like, did we really have to have that? But I understand when he's a good run blocker, you want those on your team. And when you're building your offense around the run, and you got a quarterback that can run pretty good, sets up the play action, sets up for everything. And I like that. So with that being said, hey, welcome to the team. We appreciate it. Sam, you a member of the Chicago Bears, and I believe he will do well. I believe he will do well. But he wasn't the only offensive player that we drafted. This is crazy. Because what I predicted, I said I wanted the first 4 picks we had. I wanted all defensive players. I didn't care what order. I know we needed a safety. I know we needed an end, and I know we needed a tackle. I didn't care what order they picked them in. I just wanted that. I wanted our first 4 picks to be defensive players. And it was just the opposite. We got 1 defensive player and 3 offensive players. But hey, I guess when your coach was a former quarterback and your coach is an offensive-minded coach who runs a great offense, you got to expect this. You got to expect this. So with this being said, the last pick in the 3rd round for us, pick number 89, Zavion Thomas, wide receiver from Louisiana State University, a.k.a. LSU. Now, LSU been known to produce some good receivers. I just hope Zay is one of those guys who's going to be along the lines of one of the good receivers from LSU. A great returner. He grabs. He's a gadget type player. Great returner. We need that. We need that. Our return game was decent, but the guy that we had returning is no longer with us, so we had to replace him. So is this the guy? Well, let me say this: when a man runs 4.2, yeah, y'all heard what I said. The man runs a 4.2. I'm just saying, a versatile wide receiver returner, got that good run burst. Shit, what you mean? What you mean? You got that explosive playability. That's what you want, especially return game. You want that. Get that man on the screen. That man's he's gonna break some ankles. He's gonna hurt some goddamn feelings. And with that being said, that's what the Bears need. We need those type of playmakers. I think we got a playmaker in Caleb Williams. He needs playmaker type receivers, and I think he's got a few already. But there's nothing wrong with having more. You can never have too many weapons, right? I mean, that's what you say. I guess my concern is, his raw route running. Said he's raw. He doesn't have to run a lot of routes. His route tree probably is not as extensive as maybe some other receivers, but that's okay. He needs to develop as a full wide receiver. Just get his route tree. We're gonna get him right. I believe we are. Antoine Randall is our wide receiver coach, and I think he's going to get him right. So I don't think that's going to be much of a problem. It's obvious that he's going to be more of a special teams impact type player, and I'm okay with it. We need that. We need that. So when you allow him to get on the field, punt return, kick return, do little things like that, hey, he's going to be an X factor. He's going to be an X factor. Hopefully he's more of a boom than a bust, if you know what I mean. We don't need no more bust players. We had his name, Logan Jones, and now he was no longer with us. He was with Seattle, and he so happened got him a ring this past season. So congratulations to that, brother. But nonetheless, I welcome Zavion Thomas to the squad. Welcome, my brother. The draft is going to continue. We got rounds 4 through 7 kicking off here shortly, and I will be there for it. And I will definitely bring y'all another breakdown of those players that's going to be added to the roster. With that being said, I will catch you beautiful people on the next one. Right on.